Hello, welcome. It's Friday on Your View. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here with me. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
Celebrity Friday. Oh, how you guys doing?
We're
Jimmy,
good.
what's up?
I'm great. Oh, yesterday I was very much honored. I was the panel discussant at the University of Lagos Mass Communication 50th anniversary distinguished lecture series. And we were talking,
You know that she studied mass communication in
and
Lagos.
the topic was building new generation of media practitioners in this in the new world order. And I was I was so honored to be on the same table with my lecturers, you know, these people who started lecturing before I was born. We had Abiodun Shobanjo, Professor Akin Faleye. The guest speaker was Debo Adeshino, the editor of Guardian. My current HOD, Dr. Sunday, you know.
Okay.
But in addressing, but you guys are facing a major situation because right now a lot of people on TV, on radio, I just came back and they have accents and then they get employed because they have accents and there's really.
I think they've stopped that already now. I don't think
really?
they have. I think
But they've
stopped
not.
that.
Maybe they've stopped employing them, but the people on radio still have accents.
Well, two things were happening on is how to stay relevant in the new era, which is you must be on top of your game. Your content must always be factual, you know.
Okay, cool.
You must do your investigative journalism.
Alright.
And stay on
Very
top of
well.
You are repping. You are repping.
How you doing? Yes, that's a lot of repping. How you doing, Topsy?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. I'm happy. I'm excited about what today unfolds. Yesterday, I got the opportunity of doing Egoboyo's makeup. Okay, yeah. So she's ageless like that. Like her skin is flawless. I couldn't believe it. Without makeup, she's that beautiful. I like teaching, but then sometimes it just calls to you like that. So it was fun.
Antiwa, how you doing?
I'm very well, oh.
Don't look at your weak. Look like
She
you
went
not
to eat something. Don't name it because it's not. I'm sure it's not that place that caused it.
You went to Tamala.
I went to
No,
Tamala.
I think she should not name it.
I'm begging it. This
Wait.
morning, my stomach is just acting up. Well, I hope I'll be able to survive 1 hour. But today is my son's their elections. And
Oh, that's true.
yeah, they're doing. I think they're voting now currently. The process is very, very seamless. You know, they were telling me that very transparent. The children will vote. I said, okay, oh, our fingers are crossed. So we hope that we'll be able to emerge. Well, congratulations to my people in Edo State, the Benin Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes, our Oba has finally sat down on his chair. Sure, you can rest now.
Yeah, so with these beautiful wives, it's in the papers.
They're so pretty.
We'll talk about that
They're
in the
so
papers.
pretty.
Don't forget, Vlisco is still celebrating their 170th anniversary, the pride and perseverance and strength of African women who share the passion for Vlisco and the commitment to the society. So we're excited. It's Friday. They usually sponsor our Hot Topic segment. So when we take a break, when we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers, and later we'll have Vlisco in the building to tell us more about the celebration. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Let's start with the Punch. Another judge says Amechi asked him to influence judgments. Picture here again, Oba of Benin crowned unfolds the developmental agenda. NNPC cuts oil prices to woo buyers. Fayoshe inaugurates marshals to arrest defiant herdsmen. 23 billion naira fraud case. Amosu others abandon plea bargain. Suspected robbers kill Mimico's security aide. Buhari nominates 46 as ambassadors. Patience Jonathan sues Serap, says $15 million is a gift.
Oh.
Amosu's thugs attacked us, says striking workers. And customs sack 4 deputy controllers, 25 other senior officers in customs. Yeah.
So this morning I listened to Freshly Pressed, and Ireti made my day. As the way she dramatized Madam Patient's
What happened?
Okay, so the truth, what the former president's wife, former first lady, was saying, that Patience Jonathan, was that the $15 million came to her as a gift from her friends
And
family, and that the smallest, they even gave her 250,000 naira.
Dollars.
No, she converted it to
Naira,
dollars.
yeah.
It was a naira, she changed it to dollars, they now try to keep it. So they said the money was given to her as gifts from many people, her friends and families that love her, that are giving her those gifts, and that it wasn't in any way government fund, and that she kept it in the safe, and that when the building was about to, was burnt,
yeah.
she changed the money
Converted them,
into
yeah,
dollars and then gave it to someone to Judafa to
Yes.
help her invest.
To help her invest the money and he actually then
to help her put it in the bank.
Yeah,
so
but
he now decided that
Oh,
since he had two companies, he was going to invest the money in those company accounts. But I'm just wondering how you can get a gift of $15 million.
over 15 years. That's fair.
Over
please.
15
You see,
years.
I need
that's
better
an average
friends.
of $15 million and $1 million a year for a president's wife or a governor's wife. I mean, that's pretty fair.
Right.
I think we need, I'm happy that we're getting to this point now that people are questioning gifts, because you need to start getting to the point where we question
I think
such
what
money
The
Wait,
best
coming in.
thing to do, Mariah,
Yes.
is to trace the people that gave her, because she's now claiming that she cannot remember the sum of the people that
Ah,
gave
well,
her.
she's been a long time now. She really couldn't
If
have
I say
remembered.
Mariah gave me $1 million, Abi, as a gift, they will come and check Mariah's account to
Yes.
know how
Very
much
true.
she's
Let's move on.
earning.
Let's
For
move
us to
on.
be able to afford that.
Let's move on to the Nation. Judge Amechi, excuse me, asked me to help nullify Fayoshe's election. Justice Ngwota's allegation is fiction, says minister. And here are some small quotes here. The moment I got into my chambers, Amechi called. When he told me who was calling, I asked him, Your Excellency, you want to issue more threats? Amechi, on the other hand, says, Amechi did not and has never tried to lobby, induce, or make justice to influence the outcome of any matter. Picture here again of Oba Oware II gets staff of office as 40th Benin monarch. Dollar scarcity persists as Travelex is overwhelmed. $40 million ADV, that's the African Development Bank loan for Ado Ekiti, that's Afe Babalola University, Ado Ekiti. I was nominated for VP, says Oba Oshimbajo. Suspected robbers kill Mimiko's CSO. Buhari names Mamora, telling others as envoys. So, we want to talk about the Oba here?
Jumoke was going to talk about the Oba, and you remember I was talking about Emotan yesterday. She helped in crowning the Oba Eruari I in 1440 AD in the 15th century. Now the new Oba of Benin wants to be named after him, so he's going to be Oba Eware II. He was crowned yesterday with a lot of pomp and pageantry. The Benin people have a very rich culture that they've held onto over the years.
Yeah, and interestingly,
we
all
wish
the
him-
others came. So the Sultan of
The
Sokoto,
Sultan, no,
Emir
Kano.
of Kano,
of Kano
Sultan of
was
Sokoto was there, Oba Oni of Ife was
Oni of
there.
Ife was
I mean,
there.
lots of
I
them were
think
there.
that
And
one
even
thing that
international.
what important thing about the Oba of Benin, the Benin Oba stool hasn't been embroidered in any controversy with any Oba.
Yeah.
So it's they stand for peace and unity. Everybody would want to come
And they
because
still
there's no
control the
controversy.
Thank you.
The reason there's no controversies, they just stick to first son.
Yeah.
The Yoruba Obas try to do it across
Family.
the sons.
Yeah.
So if the first son gets on the throne, the next king will come from the descendant of the second son.
Yeah.
You know, they usually from the royal family, but they want to spread
Yoruba's
it
always
across
trying to
all
be
the
fair.
children.
We're not fair.
Yoruba's
No,
always
no,
trying to be fair,
but they stick to their culture.
But there's a
Benin.
story I want us to take on the nation before we move on. The Afe Babalola University, finally, they're actually trying to, they got the loan, $40 million, to make the university an entrepreneurial
University.
hub where they train entrepreneurs, which is really good. We're talking about that for a long. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Where the idea is to help churn out 10,000 entrepreneurs annually, and hopefully by 2025 they're able to double that. So that's good stuff.
You know, another thing that is good about it is that entrepreneurs are not going to look for a job. They are trained with the
create.
mindset of solving the problem and
Yeah.
creating solutions.
Pan African University is already doing that, you know. But the beauty about this is that once you are in that light, you are going to also help start up businesses. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
just
the idea.
others.
yeah.
Okay, moving on very quickly to Vanguard. DSS planted hard currency in my house. Justice Nwota. Picture here again. This time around, the Oba is smiling. In the other pictures we've had, he didn't smile. But he looks like a very handsome man with three beautiful wives. We saw the picture.
Yes.
Right, let's move on.
You
DSS
can be the
raid.
fourth.
NBA asks arrested judges to step aside pending trial. NNPC slashes price of Nigeria's crude oil grades and pump pageantry as Benin Kingdom crowns Oba Iware II. Yeah, so who has a story on the
I wanted to talk about
justice?
the judge,
Yeah.
but there's a controversy with the Oba of Benin that is he the 39th or the 40th because he wants to identify with Prince Oromiyo.
Yeah.
You know how we say that?
Yeah.
So he's
the Oba,
accepting to be the 40th.
the Oba of Benin is a descendant of Oromiyo.
We know that, Santi. Can you
And
let me
you see
rest?
that controversy about who is supreme.
Yes.
You people came from the Yorubas.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but talking about this George Nguta, he made a lot of allegations yesterday, saying that former
Amechi,
governor
yes.
of Rivers State, now Minister of Transportation Amechi, came to him several times asking that he rule in favor of the APC in Ebonyi, Ekiti, and River State elections, and that when the DSS came to his house, they planted hard currency in his house. He's made a lot of allegations that we need investigation. Minister of Transportation has responded to him, denying all the allegations.
Certainly. Yes, Toko, you're going to say
In
something.
the law enforcement agencies, even a lot of people have made these complaints time and again. Even when we had the Commissioner of Police Lagos State, somebody sent a message that, see, his brother was driving and the policemen planted a gun and ended up extorting money from him. So you see this kind of allegations in this particular one. I can't say whether the DSS did not do that,
Okay,
because
let's move on.
we've had so many track records of incidences like that happening.
All right, let's move on to Daily
So it's
Sun.
for them to prove that.
Amechi offered me bribe to sack Fayoshe. Allegation Mayor Ficture says Transportation Minister. Once again, the Oba of the Oba Iware II. Yes, his crown.
Oba Atokpe.
Buhari nominates Mamora, Emenike, 44 others as ambassadors. Lautech, Aregbesola, Ajimobi agree on joint ownership. Mimiko security aide shot dead. How I became vice president, says Oshimbajo. Biafra suit against federal government stalled. As two lawyers clash over. That was so funny. You're meeting the judge, and he's okay. Represent your client. He's like, no, I'm the one representing. No, it's not me. When did you? That they you know what?
Right.
So you know
Too
what?
many lawyers.
Can't figure yourself out. But maybe because aid got shot there. Who read
I
that?
read the article.
Sorry, hang in there.
His
Okay.
name,
No, I want to take another story. So
Okay, let you make it.
his name is Oyewole CSP.
Yeah.
The CSO, Chief Security Officer of Governor Mimiko in Ondo State. He was shot dead by armed hoodlums in his home in Akure. His son Dare said that at 7 p.m. Oyewole was having his dinner, and that a neighbor came into the house and said there were armed robbers around. So he picked his service pistol and followed the neighbor out. But that once the armed hoodlums saw him, they just shot him. They didn't see him until
Thursday.
Yeah,
dead.
and
Life
he
has
was
been-
dead.
Yeah.
May he
Sam.
rest in peace.
Amen.
Yes.
I want to talk about the ambassadorial list that has been
Yes,
sent to the National Assembly. And surprisingly, the first list that was sent was, we applauded it because it was filled with people that were career diplomats. But now these are not career diplomats. I'm wondering the line of action. I'm waiting for what the members of the Senate and House of Representatives would do with this list.
But this is a very comprehensive list. It shows that something is happening in the room, because obviously in the other room,
Moreo,
this covers
can we start
everybody.
Can we start having lists that, you know, I mean, like
politicians
that
being
would be like a
sorted.
breath of fresh air when you hear the kind of names and you go and read up on their.
Well, to be in fairness, these are people that worked to get this man
May
to
I
where
help
he
you
is.
with this argument that it will seem like the president is caught between a rock and a hard place. He wants to pick technocrats. They will say that all the party people who worked for him, they've not been given appointments. They've
Compensation.
just left. So what's happening? So what do you want him to do?
Yeah, so I mean, I think he's really
But this
listening
is a-
to his wife.
Is
with
the other room is working.
Okay, all right. Unfortunately, we can't take the last paper this morning. We have run out of time, but that's what we can take. When we come back, we're going to have Visco here with us, telling us more about the celebration. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Live with intention.
Africa is definitely on the rise.
Mali, wake up. Nesta, up.
Live with intention.
Africa is definitely on the rise.
Back. Yes, this segment is brought to you by Vlisco, the maker of Africa's finest print. On August 15th, Vlisco officially turned 170 years old. Because of its strong connection with Africa, the brand marks the big event by honoring African women, which are you ladies too, part of it. Joining us on the show is the marketing manager, Adaizi Alilonu. Welcome to the show again. Good to have you.
Great
How have
to
you
be
been? Love your hair.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thank you for having me again.
I've been asking, what exactly is the driving objective when Vlisco launched a major brand protection, the Converser of Style? What was that about?
Well, we like to believe that the women that wear our fabric are connoisseurs of style. They understand what it is to be elegant, to look good for the moment at any time. So we started this campaign to educate women about Vlisco, but also to help them identify the true original where they find themselves faced with counterfeit. So it's a brand story. We tell them about Vlisco, the history of Vlisco, but then also we want to teach them how to identify the original.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I want to ask you a question. How do you maintain your position in the market space when everybody seems to be going for cheaper brands, cheaper products, and it's flooded the market? How do you?
Well, I think really it's just an understanding from our consumers. I would be conceited if I said it had anything to do with Vlisco as a brand. Of course, we do our work internally, but it really all depends on our consumers. They love our products. Our products are durable, they're colorful, they're beautiful, the designs are nice. So, well, most women that want to go for quality
end up with
Vlisco.
Great stuff. You're speaking plenty, Wimbo. Vlisco is known as a classic brand, yeah? With names, if you wanted to define Vlisco as a Nigerian man or a Nigerian woman, who would Vlisco be?
Do I need to represent? Oh, names. Oh, okay. Vlisco is, who will I use now? Vlisco is Onyeka Onwenu.
Yes. Now that's...
It's fine wine. It gets better with the years. It's elegant, it's sophisticated. It's not in your face. You know, it's simple yet very chic and yeah.
So how do you make the Vlisco fabric?
Ooh, I could talk about this forever. It's a very beautiful process. 27 minimum processes that the fabric has to get through, from design to bathing it in dye, to applying the first color, to applying the second color, to the finishing, to the cutting, to the packaging, is 27 processes. Very beautiful. Very beautiful processes.
We know that this 170th anniversary celebration is a major event, you know, and it's been on and on and on. So can you tell us what's happening to that regards?
Okay, first off, we had the big fashion show in our head office country in Holland, where we invited all our partners, our key partners from different countries in Africa to celebrate with us in Holland. And then we all went back to our different countries and then continued the celebration.
Wow.
So for Nigeria, we have opened our second store in Abuja. We did that last week, Thursday. The wife of the Senate President was there to celebrate with us, amongst other dignitaries. So now we have a second store in Nigeria and a first in Abuja. Apart from that, we'll be showing at the Lagos Fashion Design Week. We'll be supporting some of the designers that we've worked with over the years to show their collection, and we'll just be there generally to lend our voice to the whole fashion landscape.
You know, talking about support, is Vlisco involved in any CSR? Because there are young designers, I'm sure they can't afford Vlisco, but would Vlisco be willing to partner with those kind of people? What do you do for CSR?
Oh, definitely. We do a lot of things. We have a Vlisco Fashion Dream Fund that we hold yearly, and the aim of that project is to get designers to pitch their business plan, because Nigerian designers are very talented. That goes without saying. What we find missing is that many of them are not able to structure their business to make it profitable. If you want to be a Larry Da Silva, if you want to be an Ejiro Mustafiri or any of those big names, you need to be able to structure your business and be competitive beyond the borders. So what we do with that project is not only do we look at your designs, we also help you to structure your business, and then we give you exposure. For instance,
go ahead, please.
For instance, this year we have the winner from last year showing at the Lagos Fashion Design Week with our support.
That's really nice.
And we would work with her to go to higher ground.
Great stuff.
How old is your Vlisco?
This particular dress, oh no, it's not very old. It's just
but the print, actually.
The print.
Oh, we've been producing this particular design since the early 1900s. It's one of our oldest designs.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Okay,
reason I asked the question is, how do you maintain Vlisco?
Oh, okay. That's a very important question. The most important thing is not to wash your Vlisco with harsh soap.
Thank you.
I'm not going to mention, I can't mention
You have to
any
use
brands.
you have to use
But
like
use
toilet
mild-
soap.
Yes,
like
not
the-
detergent, mild
Toilet
soap.
Baby soap.
Exactly.
You know, because the question she asked is very key. When I wore my Vlisco fabric that my mom had given to me, you know, I noticed that the fabric had become weak, you know. And for me, the way I maintain my own fabric, you know, with the kind of iron you use is very key. You know, it can actually thin out the fabric and also the detergents. So can you please tell people that are buying Vlisco how to, you know, make sure that they keep that fabric, you know.
Okay, first thing, like I said, you have to use mild soap. Don't use hot iron. Always iron your dress with warm iron. And after washing, when drying, don't dry under direct sunlight. If you notice, our mothers would always dry their wrapper under a shade or in the evening. You don't want the hot sun really shining on you.
What of ironing inside out?
If it's a dress, I iron inside out.
Or some people place a material on it.
Yes.
So that
If
it
I have to
doesn't-
iron on top, I have to use very mild
We all use
heat.
washing machine these days. Can we throw in a washing machine?
Well, I would rather not, but where you want to do that, don't use hot water.
And you do
Let
hand
it be
wash.
cold, and you do
program
hand wash.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, suddenly Vlisco now has stores. Now that after almost 117 years, you didn't used to have stores. Why the change? You were using distributors and all that. Why are you now having a store with your name?
Well, the simple grammar really is that we want our consumers to have a brand experience. Our product is very unique. It's premium, but also you find it in the marketplace side by side with lots of
Imitation.
things. Not only imitation, you know, if you enter Balogun Market, for instance, you see
You
meat,
just keep it in one corner.
you see meat, you see
chicken,
rice, you see chicken,
see
then you
fish.
see this fabric, you know. So we want the consumers that would like to have a brand experience to walk into our store.
But entering your store,
Yes.
comparing the price you're giving at the stores with your distributor selling price.
Yes.
Do you think people would naturally say they want to enter that? You know, when they see the beautiful store like that, "Ah, let me go to Balogun Market."
Well, yes, that's why really, because we have some distributors that showed concern when we were about to open our store.
Yes.
But we make it clear that we're not in competition with our distributors. We can't be. They are the ones that have made us what we are in the different countries.
Okay.
Like I said, the objective is brand experience. And because of that, we always mark our price about 5 to 15% higher than open market prices. Yes, that's the premium you pay for the experience. Yes.
No.
But do you have an online opportunity to, because many of
To
us
shop
don't like
online.
going to find the store in either the Ikeja Mall or Abuja. Can we just
We
go
have an
online?
e-commerce site, vlisco.com /e-shop. You can shop there, but we have restrictions, of course. We deliver to you, but you have to pay your duty. We insist you pay your duty, yes.
Since it is still fully
So if you come to
imported.
the store, we've already paid our duty to the government. But if you buy from our e-shop, we'll give it to you at the normal e-shop price, but then you have to pay your duty. Yes.
Cool, that's nice. So what else, I mean?
Any other thing you'd like to tell us about the 170th anniversary celebration?
Well, we're having a lot of things still lined up. We have consumer appreciation programs that we're going to have before the end of the year. We are currently running, from Monday next week, we'll start running a promotion at our Abuja store. Like you asked, we are partnering with a lot of designers. So from Monday next week, at the Abuja store, we'll be having a partnership with a designer called Vintage Colette. The idea is that when you buy any 2 pieces of 4 yards of our super wax, you can make it at her atelier and you get a discount from us to you. You know, this end of the year, a lot of women want to have their dresses made. So we want to be in that process. We'll start from the north and then we'll roll it to Lagos.
Well, that's good. Well done. So
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming.
Thank you very
Appreciate it.
much.
So hopefully also, we'll hope to hear from you soon. Also, whatever else Vlisco is working on, because ladies of you would definitely like to participate with
Yeah,
you.
okay.
All right?
Yeah.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we have our celebrity guest in the studio. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Africa is definitely on the rise.
Mali, wake up. Mister, up.
Africa is definitely on the rise.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. We have Sammy Okposu, is a gospel artist, a music star, motivational speaker, multi-instrumentalist, instrumentalist, vocal coach, and a music producer director. Now only you wakako.
We plenty.
He started his musical career in 1992 with multiple awards locally and internationally, and he's a United Nations Youth Ambassador for World Peace, and has featured prominently in all concerts across the world. Welcome to the show, Sammy Akosi. Goodness me, how have you been?
Great.
Instrumentalist. That's so.
That's like a musical
So you,
instrument.
you, of course. So you
How
know
many
music.
instruments do you play?
How many instruments do you play?
I play the piano, I play the bass guitar, I play the drums.
And you sing fantastically.
I try.
Okay. Going straight into the controversies.
No,
Let's
Come in first
let's
now.
do a breather.
please.
Really?
How have you been,
What the
Sammy?
How long have you
about his
been?
career?
How long have you been in this? How long have you been?
Lord. That's so. Okay.
How long have you been in?
I've been here, like you rightly read out.
4 years.
My first album, there was the time for behind the scenes.
Okay.
And there was the time I stepped out as an artist. So my first single came out in 2000. Welu Welu. Yes. So, but before then, I was behind the scenes from like 92. Yeah.
Well, actually, we know about your career. You're not somebody we don't know. Everybody knows Sam Akosi. So I guess we're actually more interested in the gist that nobody knows. How did you meet that fine wife? How did she say yes to you?
From choir.
That's what me I
Not
want
quiet.
to know.
No.
How did that fine woman marry you?
She said yes 6.5 years ago. So it's been a while.
Hey, girlfriend is
And
fine.
we here. Actually, doing a lot of traveling.
No, she wasn't living here. So it was marriage that brought her back home. She was living in London. So,
National relations.
well, you know how it is where you travel. My work takes me around quite a bit. So I was fortunate to meet her 9 years ago.
Oh.
And
How's it been?
back and forth. Oh, fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
let me let.
No, she's waiting to shoot.
Let me be the first because you see the thing is you married 6 years ago, and that is by all standard not so early, and
Well,
yes,
By Nigerian standard.
by Nigerian standard not so early, considering that you've been in the limelight for a long time before then as a gospel artist.
the question is, when is the right age to be married?
You be the representative.
No, I need to ask you ladies.
When God tells you to marry.
Thank
No,
you.
it's not when God tells you to marry.
No. Is there something
spiritual
like,
with it.
this is the
I
time?
think when you find the right person
Thank you.
and it clicks that this is the person I cannot live
People
without
say
this
that
person.
you found many right people before.
No.
You found many right persons before.
You're looking for trouble. Okay. Well, you see, there is a stage in a man's life where you are trying to get it right until you get it right.
Yeah. Talking about getting it right, you have been in the music industry, and I know that anybody that sings, you are like a ladies' man, a woman's fantasy. When the man just opens his mouth and he's singing, everybody's mesmerized, and you were in the choir. With a
I
lot
am
of,
still in the choir.
Okay, you're still in the choir.
Yes.
With a lot of women and all that. How do you manage, their emotions? Because the truth is that women, we are emotional. Once you open your mouth and you're singing now, I'm already dreaming, in the Bahamas. So how do you manage that?
Well, you see, singing in church is a totally different ballgame than singing circular music. So in church, there are rules and there are regulations that they drum down your ear every day. And they have the singles fellowship, so there's all of that guidelines on how you relate to a sister. So it just it's like checks and balances. It doesn't just make you misbehave and go off the cuff just like that. So it's a good place to even learn about dating and everything because
Fantastic.
yeah.
Okay,
As a gospel artist, I'm happy that you started at age 10 from the
Yeah,
choir.
play the piano.
By 2013, you had garnered 27 awards across Nigeria internationally. You have mentioned that you have no regrets at all. You wouldn't do anything differently. Your daughter, Alula, has picked up singing.
She sings better than me.
Are you afraid for her in terms of romance? Being who you used to be?
Yes, I like that one.
Used to be. You're so nice.
She's nice today. But you see, we're in a dispensation where a lot of things have changed. When I was growing up, my father looks at 5, 6 of us and he decides what you're going to be. He says, you are my lawyer, you are my doctor, and the case is closed. It's not up for discussion unless you want to pay your fees by yourself. But there's been a lot of evolving, and back then you dare not open your mouth and say, I want to be a musician or a comedian or a runway model. It was a taboo. It was seen as a profession for
Sammy,
crazy
you are
people.
evading the question.
No, I'm coming to that place now. But I said, I am not afraid for her because times have changed. And my life is actually a testimony to her to see that I can do this and succeed. Because I think I'm a very strong influence in. Initially, she was playing with the thought, I want to be a lawyer. And guess what? She can hold you down to an argument and you won't lose.
Okay, you
So,
misunderstood the question.
no, I'm not afraid for her and her choices of becoming a singer.
I'm talking about romance.
Exactly, because in that world, I think she's grounded enough
Okay.
to make decisions
Great.
for herself. She goes away to school.
Fantastic.
There's nobody there. She's in boarding house. I think she only spent time here in maybe nursery or primary. She's been all by herself, and so far, she's been a good kid.
Now, when you started,
Yeah.
when I listened to Samuel Posu, I have this, immediately I am like, you are in the spirit, that you bring down that, God uses you that way. Recently, I must confess, it's been a lot of concert, let's hear hip hop, with gospel, God loves you, you know.
Is that where the money is at?
It's like, so I'm trying to reconcile the Sammy that seemingly was
brings
spiritual,
Okay.
then to the Sammy that just wanted to bring the party down. You know,
Okay.
like, yes, we're praising God, but let's get the party on. That's,
Okay.
I'm still having that issue.
There has to be a balance.
Okay.
Because not everybody loves worship, not everybody loves praise. Some people just want to praise, and some people just want to come into that atmosphere and they just want to be solemn and just be quiet. So you have to be able to deal with everybody that comes into your concert environment. But if you are in church, a regular church service, there's a time for praise, there's a time for worship, time for special songs. But if you come to a concert, we have to be able to carry everybody along.
So now, you had Welu Welu. You had some songs that became chorus in
National anthem.
anthem in all churches.
Still be. Yeah.
How do you feel now? Because we're seeing you because we want to see you. Those of us that are already
Okay.
that know you.
Okay.
But there are many other competitions.
Yes.
And you seem
How
to
do
be
you stay
just
relevant?
there.
Yeah.
How do you?
It's good. It's good because that has been my heartbeat for a long time.
That's
Because-
where you started from.
Yes,
The
I mean,
background.
at some point, for lack of a better word, it was wearing me out because I was
perform
the only one that needed to service all the events, and I was feeling like I was failing because I needed to raise up other people. I needed other people to be influenced by what I was
You've
doing.
been doing that.
Oh yes, oh yes. If you bring anybody that is anybody today,
In gospel.
they all have a link to me.
You've had one influence or the other.
Exactly. So for me, I'm happy to see this happening in my lifetime because some people don't.
So can I come and join the link too?
No, you can't live here. You want to live here?
I think I somewhat disagree with Mariah's argument because we had an argument with Mr. Femi Afolabi Brown, and I was telling him that the kind of gospel, a lot of gospel singers are running away from the churches and they are going out to do secular music because secular music seems to be more lucrative for them.
Exactly.
So I would I mean, I would love to hear, you know, a gospel music being played anywhere.
Exactly.
Without any restrictions.
Which is the whole
But his
idea.
argument was that no, that if your song is spirit-filled, that in those places, for instance, like in a club, I mean, there are demons there and all that. So if your song is spirit-filled
It will
and
kill
people
them.
are dancing to your song, it means that your song, there's a demon there.
No.
And I think it's wrong. How do we change the narrative about this generation of gospel artists, you understand? That you know that this is a quality music.
Yes.
Because you go to parties, a 10-year-old birthday, the mother and the father, they are deacons and deaconess in the church.
Yes.
But they don't have any quality
Good.
lyrics, clean lyrics that are from gospel artists that can be played all through the number of hours in
Okay,
that
so
party.
let him comment on that.
I agree that there has been a vacuum there for a long time. So what she said she noticed is actually us trying to fill that vacuum and occupy the mind of the young people and give them not just the beats, give them content.
Thank you.
So what we are doing now is a combination of the groovy beats and content.
Fantastic. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take your phone calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. I have no more questions for the guests.
I have a question.
You have a
I'm just joking.
You sound so very much like your pastor and mentor, Pastor Paul.
Yes, I do.
Akiparasin.
After 24 years.
Oh, I
You've
can
been with him all your
imagine.
career.
Yes.
And so, and you have an impact on, like you said, all the gospel artists
Yes.
that we have around.
Yes.
Aside from mentoring these people whom you have come in contact with, what are you doing to push gospel music in Nigeria?
Well, basically, me and a few of my friends have come together because what is happening, trust me, from every top secular artist you have today, I will tell you what choir they used to belong to.
Thank you.
True.
And the reason why they had to
Leave the choir.
Leave the
move
church.
was there was no room for expression and it didn't look like a lucrative thing to live by. So we are now looking at how we can create platforms where there's room for expression and at the end of the day people can actually make a living out of it because a whole lot of us decided to do things differently and they are saying that okay, it's working. So the young people are actually now looking at it as okay, we can do this.
All right, let me take this call from Tunde. Tunde, are you there? Magege.
Hello.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm a third-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I have a problem with gospel musicians.
Okay. Today.
You know, whenever they sing, they say they are inspired by the
Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit. But you find out that the song they sing, they imitate the secular musicians. They try to turn what those guys are singing and change the rhythm and all of that. But if they are actually inspired, the secular musicians should be copying them instead of them copying the secular musicians. So that for me did not really work because if you're a gospel musician, you should be inspired by the Holy Spirit, then the original in your songs rather than copying the secular musicians.
All right.
So for me,
Point taken.
Sorry.
Point
I
taken.
want to ask a question.
Let's have you respond.
No, what's the definition of being? What is the definition of the song that is being inspired by the Holy Spirit?
Let's have you respond to that, please.
Okay, Tunde, thank you for calling. First of all, you need to understand that there is what is called creative license. Creativity is universal.
Okay.
It can fly to Mr. A's head or Mr. B's head. And I might be so impressed with your melody, and I want to do what is called a remix or a sample. It doesn't mean I'm trying to be that person. When you listen to me, like for me, I have done quite a lot of sampling, but my content will make me stand out. You will know that, listen, this thing, and vice versa, I can give you a long list of secular artists that have borrowed popular gospel melodies to make hits.
True. Very
I
true.
want to ask you, when we, as gospel artists, you are called
Yes.
to move people, because music is it inspires, it brings you into the spirit.
Yes.
So you're called not just, it's not about just making money, and
No,
I know
no,
you
no.
need to make money.
Yes.
But where do you draw that line between the calling of I have to touch people's lives and the calling of I need to commercialize this gift, and how to win souls at the same time?
That's what I call ministry and industry.
Okay.
There has to be a balance, because my ministry is my calling. My industry is what puts food on my table.
Yeah.
So that's the balance a lot of people are not able to strike. Knowing that, okay, this is church. Like for me and my management, it's a different approach when a church is inviting me for an event. And it's a different approach when you are inviting me to come and play at a wedding or at an end of year. So when I'm going to play at a wedding or end of year party, that's industry. When I'm going to church, it is strictly ministry.
All right.
And the approach is different.
And let me take this call from Koye. Koye, are you there?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Queen, actually. Go ahead.
Yes, Queen. Yeah, I think you guys should revert back to what he was trying to say on how to build the gospel music in Nigeria. But to buttress, to just really add my quota to it, I would say the best way to make a gospel music come out really is to do something like what Project Fame does.
I was going there.
Do something like what other Nigerian Idol does. But
You're
make
already doing it.
gospel, just gospel.
We have about
that way, most people would it would be away from the secular music. And I didn't want to comment what the earlier caller said. Yes, he does not get inspiration from the Holy Spirit, obviously. But to just take it away from the secular music, a little bit away from secular music, and make it just gospel.
Okay, so I wanted to ask a question.
All right, thank you very much, Queen.
I know Kirk Franklin is doing something like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I think Sissy Winer.
Yeah, it's a group.
They are doing
together.
something
Sunday
like that.
Sunday Best.
But you see, Femi's argument, when we had that argument, was that a lot of these contracts, when they go into this contract and they want to sign this contract, they would put a clause that you do not mention the name Jesus or you do not mention the name God in your contract.
That's right.
And that's why his argument is saying that all these kind of gospel artists that are coming out these days, a lot of them have relegated, you know, the real person, and they are now pursuing money. So
and that's because a lot of them want to get out there. So they don't care what the content of the contract is. They're like, I have been singing in choir since nobody heard my voice. this guy has given me a contract. If it's just if I want to call Jesus 50 times, if I call it 5 times, some of them are just desperate, which is what this caller is saying. We need to have something that is strictly for the kingdom, to expose kingdom talents, get them out there to go out without any inhibitions.
So what are you doing
We have to round up, but let's take some tweets, please, and we'll talk to her again.
Oluwatosin says, Samuel Kozo is an ambassador to gospel music. Will he be at the Experience 11? I think you have been at all the experiences.
Yes.
Olabode says,
in-house now.
ladies, good to see Welu Master. Nice, wonderful gospel singer. Like to see him at the Experience. Now, wow, everybody just hail you for Experience. Zio says, spiritual things remain spiritual. Gospel artists, songs, lyrics that are not spiritual, spirit-filled are empty.
That's right.
We have to round up. Any last words concerning what you're doing, future, what you look out for?
Okay, look out. I'm getting ready to release my 5th album.
Wow.
That is next year. But between now and then, what you're going to be seeing is I'm going to be releasing a single every month.
Really?
Yes, starting from November. I'm going to have 5 singles on the way to album number 5 in the next 5 months.
Fantastic.
So,
time to dance.
So are you ready to sing for us? What to dance?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We have to run out. Unfortunately, we don't have time. But that's all we can take on the show. Thanks so much.
Yeah, just bubbly here.
All right. Now, we had a fantastic week this week. Don't forget, the best cure for breast cancer is early detection. Please get tested today. Has your
wife been tested?
Yes.
Very good. Fantastic. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye. Thank you, too. Bye.
This your love, this your man, that is why I love to bring your praise. I love to bring your name, oh daddy. I love to lift you high. Even you would even I love to bring your praise. I love to bring your name, oh daddy. I love to lift you high. Me for so dollar tea. Papa, you too much, oh. Now you that make me shine.